everybody, it's Amy at Crafty Cat, and I am back for another hashtag 50 stack challenge number 7. This is the 7th one of these prompt assignment challenges. Each week I draw 2 prompts out of my bag, and then the idea is to make 1 piece of ephemera for each of the prompts. Then at the end of 25 weeks, you have a stack of 50 pieces if you're making 2 per week. So for example, last week I drew out stamp, and this is like a rubber stamp or silicone or whatever. And so I stamped 2 envelopes. Well, I think I only stamped 1 with you guys, but anyway, and then I cut one so you could see how you could use it in a journal to make a pocket this way, and then you could probably turn this one and have it as a side pocket. So that's what I did for stamp. And then number 14, I drew paint splatter, and we made this pocket, which was much longer, but I cut it off, and I took the part that I cut off and made it into 2 little tags to tuck in there. Some people said, I hope you don't cut it. Some people, yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry. I cut it, and that's what I have. So I've got some very small writing spots, and that way I can glue it onto a journal page as a pocket, or you could hinge it as a flap, but it's just got all this on the back. So anyway, that is that piece. And let's see what we have today. So we're on 15 and 16. So for number 16 will be wreath. And you can choose what kind of wreath type thing that you want to do. If you don't want to do like a Christmas wreath, obviously you could do some type of fall wreath, or, you know, find a sticker with a wreath on it, whatever. You decide. And then 17 is gold. So you could use gold paint, gold splatters, gold paper, whatever floats your boat. All right, so I'm going to get some things together and I will be right back. Okay, I am back. So the first one we're going to do is wreath. That's number 16. So for wreath, I'm going to do kind of a simple thing, only because it's probably going to take me a minute. But I have a piece of book page that I took this jar and I inked it with my vintage photo, just, you know, pressed it on there so that I have a circle. You could put it on there and trace it too, whatever. Then we're going to take little punched out dots, and I used my 1/2 inch punch, and this one's a little bit bigger. It's not quite 3/4. It's a weird size. Anyway, it's a little bit bigger than this one. That's all you need, is maybe 2 sizes. You could even do hole punch and just keep all the little punches. And then I have a little ribbon. We're going to make a wreath out of the circles. So that'll be a fairly easy one, but it is a wreath. And you can, of course, choose, like if you're, if you don't celebrate Christmas, you could do these any color. You don't have to have Christmas colors. And these are just cut out of cardstock that I have. So, or not cardstock, scrapbook paper. My goodness, Amy, get it together. So anyway, yeah, super easy. We're just going to glue all these little circles on here. And you can see I'm leaving, I'm just kind of putting a dot of glue in the middle. You can choose to do the whole edges and everything too. I think it's fine to just do it that way. And that way they can overlap, and if you have to tuck one under or whatever, you can do that. So I might come in just a little bit closer, just so that you can see it a little bit better, because it is kind of tiny. But you can make them as big or as small as you want. I just thought these would be fun. These would be great for Christmas cards, or, you know, any season. If you did fall colors, autumn colors, you could make lovely fall color or cards. So you just keep going around the circle. Simple as pie. I need to say hugs and blessings to Theresa, Janelle, Sharon, and all my Lindas. I have quite a few Lindas that pop in. So thank you, thank you, thank you to all of you. I really appreciate you. Oh, I need to say hugs and blessings to Sue as well. I feel like I forget to do that, Sue. I'm sorry. So I really do try to keep track. I write them down and I try to keep track of who I've said it to, but I'm sure I mess up and, you know, sometimes don't get everybody, and that's not intentional, I promise. I can just be a bit of a scatterbrain, so. But I really do try, based on the people who comment on the videos. And oh, I need to say welcome to new subscribers, and welcome back to those of you that have been with me for a long time or a short time. I appreciate you guys so much. And I appreciate everybody that participated in the accordion journal collaboration. That was super fun. Thank you guys so much. And thank you to all the people who went around and watched the different people. That means a lot because, you know, we're all home crafters, you know, crafting from home and putting our stuff out there. And that's not always easy to do. So I do appreciate it that you guys went and popped over to some of the other people that are making, because it always is nice when you have people watching, right? And if you don't mind, check the like button, make sure that's working today. I'm gonna grab some more from over there. I need another big sort of one. And subscribe if you haven't, if you like my channel. And always comment, because that is awesome when I get to chat with you guys. Don't have a whole lot happening today, just getting stuff done for the weekend. I don't generally, I mean, I work on the weekend. I'm not going to say I don't work, but that's kind of my time when I'll, you know, while we watch football or whatever, make digitals and things like that. I don't ship stuff out or do that stuff on weekends, so it's just my family time. We are going to go to a concert thing, music festival this weekend with the kids, so that'll be fun. And now I'm just adding dots, you know, but you could do just one layer. You don't have to do the extras if you don't want to. It's just kind of fun. It gives it another little bit of a dimension. I cut some of these with little, you know, like there's the ornament and stuff like that. Those are kind of fun to add. They add a little extra to it. Oh, I have these that have the lights, like, you know, Christmas lights on them. And these are a little bit muted colors, so I think I can use it with my the rustic Christmas kit was the thought. Why are they always flipped over the wrong way? I'm telling you. Oh, there's another one of those lights. Those are kind of fun. Fingers stick to those. And then I thought it would be fun to put a joy or something in there, but we're also going to put, do I want it at the top or the bottom? Maybe the bottom. That's just a, you know, little piece of ribbon. You can choose to do any kind of wreath that you want. This is just an idea. So like if you already had something in mind, but I just thought this was a good one that really anyone could do because it's just, you know, circles of paper. So It's kind of fun to have the stuff to make one. But you can do whatever kind of wreath you want to do. You could do watercolor or whatever you like. Your interpretation. Do I have a little pine cone? I think that's gonna be it. Okay, so oops, you can see I made lots because I wasn't sure, and that's why I did that first, stamped it ahead of time without you guys, because I had to see if I had even enough circles. It's hard to tell when you're just standing there cutting circles how many you need. So I wasn't going to ink all those little circles, but I am going to ink this a little bit. And you could also do any kind of background that it'll show up on. I wouldn't do like the same scrapbook paper you're going to use or anything, because I have string stuck on me. You won't be able to see it very well. So I think something kind of neutral might be a good way to go for the background. These would be, I think I said it, but great to make Christmas cards. Yeah, I did say that. Just want to make sure, because that would be a really cute Christmas card. And not too difficult. I mean, you could sit in front of the TV with a TV tray or whatever and just punch circles, or, you know, the little circles, and then make cards while you watch a movie. If you're like me and you can't sit still without a project. I wish I had that capability, but I don't. Every once in a while I'll just sit and watch a show, but it's pretty rare. It has to be something I'm really interested in. That's usually what the issue is. When we're watching football and all that jazz, that's a struggle bus for me. I can't sit and watch that. Have to be doing something else. So yeah, I just put some red stripe paper there. We're just gonna plunk that right on top. I'm thinking it might be kind of fun if I can get it folded right to add extra paper to the back. So let me kind of play with this for a minute and see if I can manage it. Could, like, you know, measure, but psh, that's silly. Is there enough to double it? Oh yeah, there is. So if I fold it right here, let me cut that extra off first so that I can use it for something else. My cutter. Let's measure this while we're at it. 3.5. That way we'll just have the right size from the get-go. And then we can fold it where my little mark is. I could have just gone in half, I guess, but that is 4 1/4, 3.5 by 4 1/4. So we'll just trim this off. And voila. That way it'll give us a little more journaling space than just a journaling card would. Now we have to figure out how we want to attach it on there so that it unfolds right. If I have it on there, that's That's the way. Needs a little more of a trim. I could do that with scissors. Let me just do that with scissors because I don't want to trim it too much, and then, you know, we'll just have another mess. I'm gonna glue this piece. Sorry, this is all on the fly here. This wasn't the original plan. And this is just a piece of glue page, this base. So we'll glue that on as straight as we can manage. And then fold it back up, trim that edge. Sorry, I forgot to back out, didn't I? Okay, we need to stick together now. Let me back out just a little again. There we go. Just so you're not in the right up close there. Okay, now we can glue this on. Yikes. That's cute. Yeah, I think they'd be cute in other colorways too. But I like that. And that opens up and we have journaling space. So that wasn't nothing difficult about that. Other than me figuring out the fold on the paper, but yeah, that gives you lots of space. So tuck it in a pocket, ready to go. All right, so then the next thing, I had to do it. I have to play more with the gold watercolor. So I have some watercolor scraps of paper, and then I'm gonna try to move all this stuff out of the way. I can't pick those little circles up. It's like they cling to this mat. So these are Paper Studio watercolors, metallic, which is Hobby Lobby's brand. So they're nothing expensive, fancy, or anything. I enjoy them. I think they work well, but I'm not a professional watercolorist, so you know, other people might have a different view and probably have real fancy ones, but to me, those work great. So, and then I have my palettes again that we used when we made the leaves. I'll put that on a glue page. So we have the Crackling Campfire, Wild Honey, and Peeled Paint on there. And then I am going to try and make one that's kind of that gray blue color. So see what we get here. Start with a small piece just to get started and figure out what I want to do, because I don't really know. We're just wing-a-dinging it. Why did I go in green? Seriously, use your brain. I mean, you could do a green one too, but how about I want more orange color. I'm gonna do some pumpkins, and I saw some pretty easy ones that I think won't be too hard. Just, you know, make some simple marks. You can even just do an oval if you're like, I'm not gonna do, yeah, I don't know how to do that whole pumpkin thing or whatever, because I know some people don't watercolor or paint. or feel nervous about it. But it doesn't have to be like perfect because we're gonna add to it. Okay, so I'm just gonna leave it kind of like that. You can see I've got some white space. I like that look. You don't have to have that. You can just do a big oval. And then I'm gonna put some green up here. But again, this doesn't have to be anything major either, just kind of a dot of it or whatever. And then we're gonna let that dry. Oh no, we're not gonna let that dry. I forgot the gold. Got too busy just thinking of pumpkins. I want the gold in there again, just like we did with the leaves. Just add it into this, see, because it moves when you put it in there in the water. That's why I don't think these are bad paints at all, because, and you're gonna get, because we're using the Distress Oxide, it gives you variations. Like I'm getting a little blooming, which I'm fine with for this, because I think it'll just give that pumpkin more character. So I'm going to set that aside now. For reals. Now I have a long one that you could do like a long pumpkin on. I think that would be fun. And we can always cut more off later if we want to do that. I want to try one of these blue colored ones because I do like those. I've seen them. I haven't really seen tall ones, but we're going to just do our own whatever we want. We don't have to have rolls if we don't want to. Yeah, I like these kind of blue-gray pumpkins. They're pretty neat. Take just a little brown and put it in here because I feel like it. Maybe just a little more blue. I need a paper towel. And of course, my neighbor's gonna mow the lawn. Can't ever escape it. The lawn mowing till it snows, basically. Okay, and then just again a little bit of green up here. This isn't the best brush in the world. I try not to use my good brushes for the Distress Oxides. I don't know if it matters, but anyway, I don't do that. Do some little curly cues since we have a nice long page here. And then I'm gonna add silver. I don't know. I'm not sure. I might add a little gold too. Just because if you remember, the silver doesn't work quite as well as the gold. Oh, it's doing pretty good on this. You just don't notice it as much, I guess. Is what I'll say about that. But it is moving through there pretty good. So I'll show you that closer. I don't know how well you can tell with the lights are so bright. I'm gonna set that over here and let that one dry. And then maybe we can do more than one on there. I'll probably do some gold splattering too, but That's a wonky one. Add a little more yellow. Again, I am not a pro at this. I just enjoy it. I think those blue pumpkins are more gourdish. Well, not really gourds, but they're wide, but doesn't matter. It's all in fun. Have a little brown. Put some green on there again. I don't want to let them dry too much, so I think I'm just going to do 2. So otherwise the gold thing just doesn't work at all. I'm not really touching them because I'm trying not to have the green in the orange. Not that it's not awful, but I like it when pumpkins have those curved tops on them. All the green on them. And then we'll do gold. And it doesn't matter, I know it's bleeding into that one, so it is going to look like they're merged, but we're going to go around them with, what do you call it? Ink, so it'll be fine. All right, I'm going to get those dry, come back, we'll do the black ink, and then we'll do some gold splatters and stuff like that, so I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. They are dry. I am going to cut down the side of this one a little bit, just a little bit, because it's not centered, which, surprise. I'm sure you're shocked. And then this one too is, could have probably done another one, but I just wanted to make sure we had the wet for the gold, because it won't work as well if it's not wet when you put the gold on. Okay, and then I have a fountain pen. We're gonna try to see if it works a little bit better over the ink, or the, oh my goodness, watercolor, because you know how persnickety they are. So we're just outlining. Doesn't have to be perfect. I have my shaky hand, so, and sometimes I exaggerate that because I like it. But you don't have to stress if you don't draw a wonderful line. It's kind of cool when they're not totally attached and all of that stuff anyways. And then we can put lines in our stem. And you can even do, you know, some like lines on your pumpkin. Yeah, this works better, these fountain pens, than something like that. Oh, and you can see I added the little curly doodads to the other pumpkins as well. It kind of is fun to not stay in the lines, like just let it go. It gives it more character. And interest. And yeah, I think that's about all I'm going to do to that one until I splatter it. So this is the first little guy we did. So just have fun with it. Don't stress about it. Don't like think, oh, I can't draw or whatever. I mean, we all do that. But the only way to get over that is just do it. And have fun with it. And the first one might not be your most fabulous, but just keep trucking. Oh, see, now it doesn't want to. It's like, I'm done with you. I'm done with you and your ink. Yeah, pens do not like the Distress Oxide. They don't love watercolor either, but I have to say it does work better on watercolor than it does. But I like the effect of those so much. That it's worth it. Okay, that one's good. Do these twos. See, now is when you're going to be able to separate them, even though they're kind of conjoined there. I think part of the trick, don't press hard on whatever kind of pen you're using to do the outlining and stuff, because I think it just digs into the ink that way. Whereas if you do it a little bit lighter, as I say that, it croaks out on me. These do come back a little better though. The Sharpies won't come back once they go out like that. Come on, you. As I say, how fabulous you are. You croak out on me. It is not happy with that. Coaxing, much coaxing for the pens. The pen just doesn't want to do it anymore. Yeah, I just had to do some pumpkins. I love pumpkins. The art of pumpkins. It's just fun. Fun stuff. All right. Now we will splatter them. And I'm just going to go ahead and splatter that one with gold too. Even though it's got the silver, I don't think it really makes that big of a difference as far as that goes. And then, you know, they can be cut into tags. You could add them on to like book page or whatever to make a journaling card. I mean, there's loads of things you can do with these, you know, make greeting cards, whatever. Just whatever floats your boat. Oopsies. Got a little crazy with the gold there. That one I might trim down on the bottom a little bit. I think I'm going to add a little bit of one of the browns over here. Whichever one will go onto my brush. Just for some fine extra splatters. I think it's good. Got a little carried away up there. Yeah. You know, I always got to do it. But that's what I have for gold. So I think those are so fun. And as you know, loved making the leaves. The leaves were fantastic. Let me get this out of the way. Didn't make a bigger mess. So this is gold, and I'll bring them up so you guys can see them a little better. See the gold in them. Hopefully you'll give these a try, because, you know, I just basically did blobby things and then added the gold, or this one's silver, but. And then we have our wreath. So yeah, number 16 wreath, number 17 gold. So just go have fun with it, and I will see you guys again soon. Love ya.